Do you want to find an effective sunscreen that's safe enough to use on your body even during pregnancy? In today's episode, I'm going to shine a light on some of the most toxic sunscreen chemicals out there and help you select one that's not just safe enough for you, but also your growing baby. I'm Kacey. I help self-employed moms look and feel their absolute best by detoxing their personal care routines in easy, manageable steps. And if you're new here, consider subscribing because I put out a new awesome episode every week. Now, this topic is especially important to me because I am currently 33 weeks pregnant and it is the heat of the summer. So I'm going through a lot of sunscreen and I need to find something that's not just safe enough for me, but is also safe enough for baby. There's been a lot of talk about sunscreen and the safety of it in the media lately. Have you seen any of the reports? CNN recently did a report that was looking at how quickly people absorb the sunscreen chemicals into their bloodstream, and they were saying that it happens as quick as 24 hours after use. What they concluded from this report is just a trigger to say that the rates are high enough that people are absorbing these chemicals, and there's not enough safety data to say that this is necessarily the safest way to go for our bodies. They're the safest way for us to protect ourselves from the sun. Obviously, this is especially important for pregnant moms. Before, we used to think that the placenta was a barrier for what we applied to our skin if it would get through to baby, but that's not the case. EWG did a study not too long ago that looked at the cord blood and measured the amount of toxins in the cord blood of new babies. What they found was astounding. There were over 200 unique chemicals, many of those highly toxic, in brand new babies before they even took their first breath of life. So we as expecting mothers really need to take care of what we put on our skin because that is being absorbed right into baby. So I want to go over the two kinds of sunscreens that are available to you and what are some of those highly toxic ingredients that you for sure want to avoid. I have to say, it goes so much beyond just sunscreen though. The average woman wears about 12 different products applied to her skin on a daily basis. So this applies to everything from personal care products, shampoos, conditioners, toothpaste, makeup, cosmetics, everything that you put on your skin. You really want to be conscious of when you're growing a new precious little life in your womb. And so if you haven't already, I have a guide for you. It's 5 easy steps to detox your makeup bag and really go over personal care products on a whole so that you can be equipped to make safe choices for you and all of your family. If you haven't already downloaded that, I invite you to click the little pink button below and I will send that over to your email inbox. That's going to be the best resource for you. There are 2 different kinds of sunscreens on the market. There are what we call chemical barrier sunscreens and physical barrier sunscreens. Now, the chemical ones are the ones that have gotten a lot of heat lately. You've probably seen or heard that certain sunscreens were banned in Hawaii. And why is that? So what was happening is that people were applying these sunscreens to their skin, and they were the chemical type barrier protective ones. And then they were going into the water. That was washing into the water, into the ocean water, dissipating, and it was causing massive damage on the coral reef, which, is a pretty diluted point when it gets to the coral reef, if you're just thinking about people who are getting in the ocean and it disseminating from there. So if it's having this much of an impact on the coral reef, can you just imagine, just stop for a moment and imagine what kind of havoc is that happening on humans? That's enough to make me pause and want to look at why are these chemicals banned and why are we applying them to our skin in such massive amounts. So I think the reason that these chemical sunscreens have become so popular is that, number one, they're cheaper than actual minerals. They're cheaper to source and find, so that means they're cheaper to buy. And the other aspect is kind of a cosmetic reason, and that's they don't leave that white, pasty, ghosty, slicked out look on sitting on top of your skin. So the way that chemical sunscreens work is you apply them to your skin, they're absorbed in, and then they soak in the rays and disseminate them so that they don't burn you. The problem with these chemical sunscreens is they usually only block either one, UVA or UVB rays, and often don't block both. And then the other thing is they take time to become effective and to work. So you need to apply them and wait about 20 minutes before you get into the sun. Now, if you're a mom and you have toddlers, like how often do you have that kind of time on your hands? My personal preference is for the physical type barrier protection. And what that means is that they use a mineral, either zinc or titanium dioxide, to sit on top of your skin and block the rays out or deflect the rays as they come in. The challenge with that is that they often are sitting on top of your skin, so they look like pasty white, like a ghost. A lot of people don't like that. The other benefit of these physical type barrier sunscreens is that they block both UVA and UVB rays, and they work instantly as soon as you apply them. So that's a really cool aspect too. I have my notes here because I have a few of the ingredients that you especially want to avoid. And these are ones that were either banned in Hawaii, or they are the most common ones, or they have the most risks to your health linked with them, or they are the ones that they came up with in this study to say, like, we need to look at this further in order to know if they're safe or not. So oxybenzone is one of the most popular ones, or one of the most common ingredients that you'll see on sunscreens, and that one was banned. It is a huge endocrine disruptor. So your endocrine is your whole body system that's working to keep you safe, and so that is one of the ones to avoid. Octinoxate is a hormone disruptor. That's another big one that you'll want to avoid. Homosalate and octisalate. So those are the four like really common ones that you can just take a look for. I definitely there's about a dozen more that are used commonly, and then there's tons more that are available, of course, but those are the big ones that you'll want to look out for. Now, I really prefer going this physical route, especially during pregnancy, because of, like I said, it blocks the UVA and the UVB rays. It works instantly, and it sits on top of your sun and sends things out. Zinc oxide and titanium dioxide are going to be the key active ingredients when you look at the back, or when you look at the ingredient label. Here's the thing though, even if you find a physical barrier sunscreen, often just with greenwashing or to make things cheap, they'll sit it on top of a preservative system or other chemicals to scent it or to dye it to make it like feel better or look better. And some of those ingredients have a lot of concerns also, especially if you're growing a baby. The great news is that these physical barrier protection sunscreens are available. They're going to protect you from the sun, and they're human safe. And so there's a few things that you want to look out for when you're looking for these physical type barrier protections. The active ingredients are going to be zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. And a few things you want to look out for are, is it non-nano particle? That's an important thing to make sure that you are not ingesting the nanoparticles. Another one is does it have parabens in it? Parabens is probably another ingredient that you're trying to avoid and is often snuck into sunscreen for whatever reason. And then the third one is fragrance. Now, if you don't know about this, I have a video coming for you just on fragrance, because this industry loophole drives me bananas. Basically, fragrance is to personal care products what natural flavors is to food. It's an industry loophole that people or the manufacturers can use to not list out all the toxic ingredients that are included in a product. Another thing that I know is really kind of handy to apply, and that's the spray-on kind. or the aerosol kind of sunscreens, but I would recommend avoiding those as well, just because they can get into your airstream, and titanium dioxide in loose form in your nose is not good. So hopefully this helps you get some ideas on how to find a safer sunscreen for you and for your growing baby. Like I said, there is so much more than just sunscreen. You really want to be thinking about all of your personal care products, and my guide, The 5 Easy Steps to Detox Your Makeup Bag, really walks through that and makes it easy for you to find safe alternatives. That's honestly how I got on this toxin-free journey, is when my second baby, who is a baby girl, started coming around, and I started thinking that she's going to wear makeup someday and I need to be informed on this issue. So the question of the week this week is, what has been your biggest challenge finding a safe sunscreen? Is it the performance? Is it the price? Is it the availability that you have to order it online? I know for me personally, it was finding a product that was safe, but also that I could wear under my makeup every day, because I like to have SPF on my face and my neck every day when I go outside, rain or shine. And finding one that did not make me look like an absolute ghost was the biggest challenge. So when you download my guide, I'll give you kind of my favorites, and then you can select from there. As always, if you got any value from today's episode, please comment, like, and share. I'm so excited when I hear from you guys, and I look forward to seeing you same place, same time in next week's episode.